Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really sorry it's been a minute since I've had a video up. Things have been crazy around here. I've been on clinical placement for uni at a hospital, so that's been full on. And yeah, I mean, that's really my only excuse. Sorry. But I thought I'd update you guys on how our very first fertility appointment went. Last week we had our first appointment with our fertility specialist. She's a lovely lady that works through the IVF Australia group, and we got referred to her through our GP. I'd also spoken to a few people that had said she was really good, really helpful, really clear about explaining things. So I was excited but kind of nervous. We got there with plenty of time, and I was kind of prepared to sit in the waiting room for a little while, because I'm used to going to specialist appointments and being like, okay, well, you know, your appointment is at 10, but we'll see you at 11. But we didn't even sit down for like 5 seconds before they were like, okay, go in. And so I was like, I haven't mentally prepared. I haven't had time to think about this enough. But anyway, we went in. Basically, she started by just asking a little bit about both of our histories. Mine went first because mine is significantly longer. So I spoke to her about endometriosis first, and she asked a bit about my symptoms, when my last surgery was, who it was with. She then went on and asked about any other illnesses I have. I haven't really explained it to you guys yet, and I didn't know whether it would be 100% relevant, but I'm finding out now that it is. Endometriosis is an autoimmune disease, and if you have one autoimmune disease, your likelihood of having another is much higher. I got diagnosed with myasthenia gravis in about 2013, 2014. And basically it's a neurological disease that affects the muscles in your body and the muscle junction. It's very medical, I won't go into it. It basically results in having sort of weakness in your muscles. My number one symptom was in my eyelid. It was really droopy. I lost a little bit of vision, and I went through a lot of tests for them to find out that's what the issue was. I then found out I had a growth in my chest that was related to that, and that got removed via surgery. So I was explaining all of that to her. She said she hadn't had much to do with patients with myasthenia gravis. It's quite a rare disease. There's not many people that have it, to be honest, especially in Australia. So she was explaining that that then adds a few complications to things. For some reason, myasthenia gravis can be sort of flared up during pregnancy, something about the hormones or something like that, and that can actually affect how your birth goes. So often they encourage you to have a cesarean section, and it can also be transferred through the bloodstream to the baby. So the baby might not have the disease long term, but immediately after birth they can display some symptoms like a bit of floppiness, yeah, that type of thing. So she just explained that with that disease, it added a bit of complexity to any future pregnancies. And then it just got a little bit more complicated when I explained that I had my blood clot after the surgery. So that was her biggest concern. Straight away she wrote me up some blood tests to go and get tested to see if I had a clotting factor issue, or whether that blood clot was just because of the surgery. So that was kind of it for me. It was quite a whirlwind conversation, and I was getting so much information so quickly. The thing that she kind of ended with was that because of all of these complex other medical issues that I've got, I would have quite a big team to look after my pregnancy. So I would have an obstetrician, but I would also have an obstetric physician. So I'm a nurse, and I've done my research into this, and I had never heard of this person. Basically what they do is they advise or consult on the other medical issues that the mother has and how that will affect the pregnancy. So it was kind of exciting, kind of daunting, because I was realizing that we were there to talk about getting pregnant, and she was already explaining that being pregnant was going to be a little bit more complicated than we thought. She then went on to talk to Brad. His conversation was a lot shorter than mine. Basically, we took his sperm analysis results and she was pretty happy with them. There was a bit of a difference between the GP's understanding of the results and her understanding of the results. She explained that they were really good. The only issue was the sperm count was a tiny bit lower than she would have liked, especially seeing as though they have a bit of a challenge with my body. I was like, thank you, that's very kind of you to say. But she was also explaining that if they retested Brad, like now, they might get a different result and it would be fine. So they think it was just a bit circumstantial, and unless there's a really big problem with the sperm count, she's not particularly worried. So out of all of that discussion, we basically came away with a plan. The first port of call is hundreds of blood tests for us both. Mine was, as I said before, the clotting factor test, and a lot of genetic testing, hormonal testing. She also wanted to do our immunizations. The other part of the plan that she discussed with us was me going and having a high cozy. Now, wait till I explain this to you, but it does not sound cozy at all. I think that's like the worst name for it. But basically, a lot of you would know what an HSG test is. I think this is pretty much the same. The only difference is they use ultrasound. I did a bit of a Google about it, but basically it has the same effect in that they insert some fluid and flush out your tubes and check to see if they're blocked or if they're nice and open or a bit closed, all that type of thing. So she suggested we do that should we not be successful this cycle. So that would be like the middle of September if we got to that point. And then she was explaining that sometimes the test is actually also exactly what women need to get pregnant, because there might be a bit of blood or other gunk in the tubes and it clears it out, and then that just kind of gives you a bit of a fresh start. She also explained that often they do it during the laparoscopy, so I was a bit confused as to why they didn't do it with me, but I guess whatever, we'll see. And it's worth having baseline tests for her anyway. She just likes to have her own picture of what's going on. So that was pretty much her. We'll see her again in October. She also kind of explained the process of how this all progresses, which we already knew. So she's explained what an IUI is. She explained IVF to us, and she was saying that because of my age and how quickly we've kind of seen her post the surgery, she was really excited and happy for us in the fact that our chances would be really good if we did get to IVF, but fingers, toes, and everything crossed that we don't get to that point. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I will update you guys on how the high cozy goes if we get to that point. Another really exciting thing that's coming up, me and two of my other lovely friends that I've met through this journey, Celeste from Tim and Celeste and Tiarne from A Mother's Open Book, we're planning to do a live stream and live chat with you guys, a little bit about our journeys and answer some of your questions, and discuss some of the tricky parts, like sort of the ethical considerations and just like the hardest part of this journey, but also just try and have fun and laugh about it. And those girls are amazing. I'm so thankful for meeting them, and they really encourage me through this, and they're so much fun, and they consistently challenge us on YouTube to do some really fun things. So that's exciting. I'll let you know a little bit more about that when it comes closer to the date. And yeah, that's pretty much me for today. I'm hoping that if you guys are leading up to your first fertility appointment, I've been able to give you a little bit of an insight into what to expect. It was definitely overwhelming, but I think it's really good that we came back with a really clear plan, and the things that we need to do next. Fingers crossed in October we can say, hey, nice to see you, but we're pregnant, so we don't have to come back. So thanks guys for watching. Hopefully I'll see you a lot sooner than I've seen you in the past. I'm really hoping to get some exciting videos up soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!